All right, so in this exit ticket, you are comparing fractions. So the first one says which fraction is bigger, 5/6 or 2/3? I'm going to find a common denominator for this, which I know is going to be 6. So 5/6 already has the common denominator as 6. But 2/3, all you have to do is multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 2. And remember, if you multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same thing, then the fraction doesn't change. You get an equivalent fraction. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 2 is 6. So now we're comparing 5/6 and 4/6, and we can tell that 5/6 is bigger. Now if we look at this one, it says which fraction is bigger, -5/6 or 2/3? For this one, I'm going to put it on a number line so it's a little easier to compare. So -5/6 is going to be over here. And then remember that 2/3 is the same as 4/6, so -2/3 is just going to be -4/6, which is going to be here. Okay, so which one is bigger? Well, -4/6 is bigger because it's closer to 0. That's something that a lot of people were really good at. They figured out which one was closer to 0. So that means -4/6 is equivalent to -2/3. So -2/3 is bigger. All right, which of these sets of fractions are ordered from smallest to largest? Well, I know that the negative numbers are going to need to come first. So this one can't be right. The rest of them both have the two negative numbers and the two positive numbers. I'm going to start by comparing the positive numbers. So what's bigger, 1/3 or 4/5? Well, I know that 1/3 is less than half, and 4/5 is more than half. So I know that 1/3 is smaller than 4/5. So this last one can't be right because 4/5 and 1/3 are out of order. Now I have to compare the negative numbers. So which is bigger, -2/3 or 1/2? -1/2. So I know that in positive land, 2/3 is bigger than 1/2. But in negative land, remember everything's switched. So because -2/3 is further from 0 than -1/2, -2/3 is actually smaller. So the second choice is the correct answer. All right, explain 2 ways you can figure out which fraction is bigger, 2/5 or 1/3. There were lots of really great ideas about this. The two most common ones are find a common denominator and then compare them. The common denominator is 15. Or create a number line and mark equal parts and compare. Those are two great strategies. There are others too, like you can divide and compare the decimals. Lots of different ways to do that. Number 5, it says Cardi's looking at the two fractions, -2/3 and -3/5. She says, I know that if I rewrite these two fractions so they have a common denominator, -2/3 is the same thing as -10/15. That's true. And -3/5 is the same thing as -9/15. That's also true. And she says -10/15 is bigger than -9/15. That's where she's wrong. Remember, if we think about a number line, and here's 0, and here's -1, -10/15 is going to be closer to -1 than -9/15. -9/15 is going to be closer to 0. So -9/15 is actually bigger. So we want to say she mixed up the order of the negative numbers. -9/15 is bigger than -10/15 because it is closer to 0. Okay, that was a long, hard exit ticket. You did great on it. If you're still confused about things, go back to the lesson and see if you can relearn some of the stuff so you've really got it.